You ever had one of those days where the universe decides to slap you in the face just to see how you'll react? Yeah, that was me, Bradley Knox, billionaire, boardroom shark, supposedly in control of everything, except, apparently, a busted Rolls-Royce on the loneliest stretch of Colorado asphalt. I'm talking about a car so fancy it practically sneers at the idea of breaking down, yet there it was, hissing and steaming like some dying dragon in the desert heat, while I stood there, a grown man with a phone full of useless contacts, no cell signal, and not a soul around. You know what I mean? Powerless in the one way that really matters. So there I am, sweating in my designer suit, staring at an engine worth more than most people's homes, jabbing at things I know nothing about like that's gonna help. And that's when I hear it. A humming. Off-key, soft, kind of haunting, but in this weird way, it felt out of place. I turn, and there's this little girl, can't be more than 10, walking straight out of a Dust Bowl story, cargo overalls, red rag in her hair, boots that must have belonged to someone twice her size. She's chewing a granola bar, face smudged with oil, and her eyes sharp, gray, steady locked right on me and my dead car. She stops, looks at my precious ride, and goes, "Overheated your transmission." Not a question, just a cold statement. I laugh. "Where are your parents?" She shrugs, says they're not here, and then asks if I want help or if I'd rather keep pretending. And I'll admit it, I was insulted. But there was something in her Tonya don't waste my time confidence you don't expect from someone so small. Next thing I know, she's tying up her sleeves, digging into her toolbox, and reaching under the hood with hands that move like they've done this 1,000 times. I'm standing there, equal parts fascinated and skeptical, watching her fiddle with things my own mechanics never mentioned. "How do you even know what you're doing?" I ask, trying not to sound rattled. She looks up, eyes hard as steel. "Because I had to learn. When the world forgets you exist, you figure out how to survive." And that's when I see it just peeking out of her backpack, the edge of an official-looking card. Blue and gold insignia. Department of Defense, United States Army. My blood goes cold. She catches me looking, leans in, voice barely above a whisper. "You saw nothing." And before I can blink, my car comes roaring back to life, engine purring like it just came out of the factory. I'm speechless, which, if you knew me, you'd know is practically impossible. This kid, with nothing but a rusted toolbox and a haunted look in her eyes, just did what no one else could. She wipes her hands, turns to go like it was nothing, and I'm just frozen there, heart pounding, questions spiraling. I finally manage. "Wait." She stops, but doesn't turn around. "Who are you?" She glances back, face unreadable. "Does it matter?" she says. But it does. Everything about this moment feels wrong, or maybe right in a way I don't understand yet. "That ID in your bag, that's military. Where did you get it?" She steps closer. "My name is Riley Quinn. I'm 12. I'm not supposed to talk about it." Her voice is steady, but it sounds rehearsed. I press further, and she tells me her father disappeared on a Black Ops mission. All the Army left behind was that ID. Her mother's gone. She fixes engines because that's what puts food in her stomach. There's a silence. For the first time, I don't have the words. I've seen ambition, desperation, even genius, but not this. Not a child carrying the weight of war and abandonment, who can still look you in the eye and dare you to pity her. She starts to walk away. I catch up, offer her cash, more than she probably makes in a month. She just looks at it, shakes her head. "Keep it. You need it more than I do," and disappears into the shadows behind a rundown gas station. I stand there, useless bills in hand, feeling smaller than I've felt since I was a boy. My life, my rules, my empire, suddenly they mean nothing compared to the raw resilience in a kid nobody sees. But I can't just leave. I circle around, spot her near a battered trailer, working on a busted motorcycle with the same stubborn focus. "Did you follow me?" she grunts, not looking up. "I did," I admit. "Because I need to understand." She doesn't want my charity. "People offer things until they see where I live," she spits out, gesturing to her makeshift home. "I don't care where you live," I tell her. "I care about what's in your head. That's what changes the world." She studies me, as if waiting for the catch. "If you're lying, you're just another suit in a shiny car. But if you're serious, buckle up." I don't do second chances. I don't do pity. I stick out my hand. "Deal." She hesitates, then shakes it. For the first time, it feels like I'm not closing a deal, but opening a door I never knew existed. Fast forward 2 months, and Riley is standing in the heart of Knox Dynamics, My Chicago headquarters cargo overalls still on, but now clean, hair tighter, eyes brighter. Around her, the lab is a whirlwind of blueprints, circuit boards, and prototypes. Whispers follow her. Some think she's a scholarship prodigy, others guess secret government project. I don't clear up the rumors. She doesn't care. She's too busy solving problems my best engineers can't crack. One morning, I walk into the lab while she's working on a next-gen microreactor for an upcoming military demo. I want you to lead the presentation, I say, and she just wipes sweat from her brow, gives me a sideways look. I'm not wearing a suit. Wouldn't dream of asking, I reply. For a moment, she's silent. Then she pulls out that old ID card, the one her father left behind. She places it in my hand. I tell her about my own father, how I lost him not to war, but to ambition, to greed, to the sort of tunnel vision that leaves everything else in the dust. I told myself I'd never become like him. But I did. Until you stopped me. She meets my gaze, voice steady. I don't want pity. I want a legacy. I want to build machines that save lives, not destroy them. That's why I said yes. Something shifts in me right there. For the first time, I realize real power isn't about what you own, but what you're willing to build for someone else. I tell her, then you just became the most important engineer in this building. She gives me a rare smile. Not bad for a kid who lived behind a gas station, huh? That night, as the city lights glow like distant stars, I watch her from my office window, head down, soldering wires, drawing up blueprints, working like she's finally found home. And I know in my bones that the day my car died on that lonely road wasn't an accident. The universe forced me to stop, to see what I'd been missing all along: a little girl with a soldier's memory, a survivor's grit, and an engine that wouldn't quit, no matter how rough the road. But here's the thing. Not everyone's going to believe this story. Some will say it's impossible, that no kid could live through that much and still change the world. But if you ask me, maybe that's what it takes. Maybe the only way we ever move forward is by listening to the voices we're too busy, too proud, or too scared to hear. So tell me, do you think? Is Riley a hero, a mystery, or just a reminder of how easily we overlook the strongest among us? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about justice, about resilience, about what it really means to change the world one broken engine, one broken system at a time.